I'm Christine Lisi. Tributes continue to pour in for Steelers Hall of Fame running back Franco Harris, who has died at the age of 72. No cause of death was given. Harris, the author of what's considered the most iconic play in NFL history, the Immaculate Reception, a play that kicked off Pittsburgh's 4 Super Bowl championship-winning dynasty teams in the 1970s, notes ESPN Steelers reporter Brooke Pryor.
That catch is what started it all. Until that point, the Steelers hadn't won a playoff game. They were not the Steelers that we know today, but that moment jump-started the rest of the franchise. That, was what happened, before the steel curtain got big and everything else. I mean, that is the most pivotal moment in this organization.
Brooke Pryor on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. The Colts have benched Matt Ryan for a second time this season. Nick Foles will start against the Chargers on Monday Night Football. A stunner from Major League Baseball, Carlos Correa joining the Mets on a 12-year, $315 million contract after his mega deal with the Giants fell through over an undisclosed medical concern with his physical.
Hi, this is Max Kellerman from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. All of us here at ESPN Radio would like to wish you happy holidays and a happy new year.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. My favorite day of the year. It's signing day. Brian Kelly did meet with the media just a bit ago, so we'll let you hear what the coach had to say. I always call this recruiting a necessary evil. It is the basis upon which programs are built. You absolutely have to do it and have to do it at an elite level. However, covering the whims of high schoolers is stupid, and I hate doing it, which is why I don't do it on a day-to-day basis. But on a day like this, we'll talk about it. It'll be the bulk of the show today, as we will go through everything that happened today, everything that LSU got in its class, what it is still seeking, numbers, all of that stuff here over these next 3 hours, and we're glad to have you aboard with us. So let's kind of start just by giving you the big overview. The early signing period, which opened today, runs through Friday. So they're not done. More players can still sign between now and Friday. Brian Kelly also said they will not announce the transfer portal additions until Friday. So there is still more work here to be done and more news to come, to be sure. There are 25 signees as a part of LSU's class right now. 25 that have sent in their letter of intent. They will be LSU Tigers. Coming into today, there were really 3 players that we were keeping an eye on. First was Dalen Austin. So Dalen Austin, cornerback, who had been a longtime LSU commit and had been rumored of late that he was a flip risk. And ultimately, Dalen Austin did, in fact, do what it was anticipated he would do, and he flipped to Oregon. So Dalen Austin, cornerback, 4-star that had been a longtime LSU commit, flips to Oregon today. But LSU did a little flipping of their own, as the Tigers did, in fact, land the Vanderbilt tight end commit, Kamorian Pimpton, who today flipped to LSU and sent his letter of intent. 6'6", 227 pounds, out of the state of Texas. Here was Brian Kelly today talking about what he liked so much about Kamorian Pimpton and why they went so hard to flip him from Vanderbilt.
I don't know that I've had somebody with his raw athletic ability, and certainly there's work to be done as it relates to the physicality of the position and whether he's going to be an inline. We want to develop our tight ends as complete tight ends, where they can do everything, where they're not just a guy that you can, split out. We want them to be able to get in there and be part of a blocking scheme as well. So, and he's committed to that, and that's the one thing that, as, we talk about developing tight ends. My background in developing Coach Denbrock is incredible in the number of tight ends that he's developed. We wanted that for him, and that resonated with him. And then, obviously, the other skills that he brings, you just can't teach, right? I mean, as you mentioned, his catch radius, his ability to win in one-on-one matchups is going to be exciting to be able to develop.
So, Dalen Austin out, Kamarin Pimpton in, which is why you settled at 25 today. The other player that LSU was in on was safety Isaac Smith out of the state of Mississippi. He was on LSU's campus last week. It was an LSU-Mississippi State battle. He chose to stay home, so he'll play in Starkville for the Bulldogs. So LSU at 25 right now. A couple more thoughts from Brian Kelly, but first, this is interesting because on top of Pimpton, you also signed Mac Markway, of course, the high four-star tight end out of the St. Louis area. And last week, we talked about when LSU got the commitment from the third tight end in this class, who was a late ad in Jackson McGowan, who sent in his letter this morning. So LSU's got three tight ends in this class, on top of Mason Taylor returning, and they're still going to be looking in the portal potentially for some veteran presence at that position. But it is pretty incredible for this staff to be able to get three tight ends in the same class, which speaks to Brian Kelly and Mike Denbrock and their ability, willingness, and proof in their history of playing multiple tight ends. Listen, Brian Kelly at Rotary before this past season was asked about that. He's like, hey, how are you going to play two tight ends when you don't have two tight ends? Here's what he said.
We have to be able to recruit some depth at that position. I have a preference to have a deeper tight end, depth chart. And we just don't have that right now, so it's going to take us a recruiting cycle. But we have guys on board that are going to fill in at that position. We won't have the ability to be as multiple as I would like at that position this year, but we'll manage. We'll be creative, and you'll see a tight end on the field probably every snap, and I like to keep a tight end on the field. That was Brian Kelly in August. Well, he said they'd have to recruit to it. They did. They've got three in this class, and they may not be done because they could be looking at the portal as well. Brian Kelly, this was sort of his I should have probably started with this, but this was Brian Kelly's overarching thoughts on the day in the class.
The 25 that we've signed, we are super excited about. And I know personally I've gotten a chance to spend a lot of time with each one of them. And again, as I said earlier, and have said consistently since I've taken the job, we've got to pull our base. And, 10 of them are from the state of Louisiana. They're also part of a very talented group of players from this state. I think when we look at it, I think of the top players, 8 of them are top 15 players here in the state of Louisiana. And we stayed in an SEC footprint for the most part. 21 of the 25 signees are from the SEC footprint. We did move nationally because of our brand recognition. We're in Maryland, Minnesota, Nevada, and Ohio. But again, this is an SEC footprint.
Speaking of, so SEC footprint, yes. The other thing that's obviously of note is when you look at this class, Shelton Sampson from Catholic High, Caleb Jackson from Zachary. You're talking about getting guys who are Kylan Jackson from Zachary, Caleb Jackson from Liberty. You were able to recruit your Ricky Collins from Woodlawn. You got a handful of guys that are from within a 15-mile radius of your campus. And Brian Kelly was asked about that too, about the importance, and one of the reasons he took the job was the abundance of local talent, which he spoke to today.
Yeah, it's unmistakable in a sense that, first of all, that they're so committed to LSU, right? They grew up LSU fans. That doesn't mean you can't recruit, or you shouldn't recruit them as hard as everybody else. Matter of fact, I think we recruited them as well, if not better, because of that. We wanted to make sure that there was no stone unturned with our local players as well, that we did as well as if you were from Texas or Ohio. But there's such a, as the flagship university, there's such a passion for LSU, and it's seen by such strong high school football in this particular area.
So you stayed local, you casted a national net where you needed to, and they're still not done. Here was Brian Kelly on the remaining positions of need in this class.
Heavy influence on the defensive line. I think you'll see defensive line, defensive backfield as the particular areas that we still need to address as we move forward.
So on the defensive side, again, you're looking at DBs. You're going to have to go get cornerbacks, right? And you're still, again, Thursday's a big day because Desmond Ricks is going to announce. And if the top uncommitted corner in the country picks you, that's a potential plug-and-play guy when you're playing Florida State and Orlando next year in the opener. So that would be huge. You got Toviano in there as well. So you've gotten some guys in that defensive backfield, but they're going to add more. Now, as far as Brian, he was asked about the number of early enrollees. And what's interesting about this isn't just the number of early enrollees. It's what he leads with. It's when he talks about the transfers at the end and how many more are going to be on campus than they already have.
So 15 of them will be early enrollees. And I chose not to include them in the bowl practice because I think it really would have detracted from our preparation. It would have been much more of a public relations show, more so than truly getting them ready. So we're staying away from that. But we have a number of guys, as you mentioned, 15 of them that will come in early, not to mention, we're going to be anywhere from, looks like 8 to 10, maybe 8 to 10 in the transfer window. So you're talking about 23 mid-year enrollees.
Keep in mind. So 15 of your 25 high school signees right now are going to be here in January. 15 of the 25. You have 4 transfer portal guys committed. Aaron Anderson, the receiver, then you had a run on defensive linemen. 3 of them committed on Tuesday night. That's Brian Kelly telling you 8 to 10 portal guys will be here. You got 4 committed. Translation, fireworks are coming here in the next couple of days or potentially weeks as the portal window remains open, but they ain't done adding portal transfers right now because he's expecting 4 to 6 more on campus going through spring drills whenever the semester starts. So today's a big day, but they ain't done. Okay, it's after further review. Speaking of which, I want to talk about what happened last night with the 3 transfer portal defensive linemen that jumped into this class. That's coming up next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Rouse's. Y'all, we are headed toward Christmas. If you're having that Christmas dinner at your house, Christmas Eve, you need those last-minute items, you can always go get them over at Rouse's. I mean, Rouse's is in basically every community in the state of Louisiana and along the Gulf South. You know where Rouse's is. You can find the location near you. You go to Rouse's.com and hit the Locations tab, but by now you probably know exactly where the Rouse's is that's nearest you. Go to Rouse's.com. That's Rouse's.com. And remember, if you're trying to save time, maybe you're rushing because you got that party, but you forgot the sugar or you forgot the milk or whatever it is that you need, the pie, just go to the Rouse's app. Select your item. Your personal shopper will get the items for you. Pull up into one of the designated spots. They'll bring it out to your car. Tap to pay. It's easy. It saves you time. It's Rouse's. The holidays are here. Let Rouse's help make the holidays easier. All your craft beer, great wine, and liquor selection as well. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Rouse's.com. Rouse's. This feels like home.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
There it is, the extra mile. on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I got a text into the show from Randall who said, Matt, am I hearing you say the kid's name is Pimpton? Yes. His name is Kamorian Pimpton. You are not mishearing it. Pimpton. Pimpton. That's it. So for the next however many years he happens to be at LSU, you can rest assured that he will be a very popular Twitter meme guy. And probably also safe to say that there will be NIL deal jokes. Not advocating for that. But look, if DeColdis Crawford is getting NIL deals with HVAC companies, Kamorian Pimpton, you know. I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to say anymore. Gordy's going to get angry emails that I'll just completely disregard. Take that, Gordy. Tell me what to do. All right, it's after further review. So, on the eve of signing day, LSU finally made a big, gigantic splash. Last weekend, the Tigers had a slew of official visitors on campus, including a bunch of transfer portal players, 3 of them on the defensive line. And LSU ended up getting all 3 of those guys committed on Tuesday evening. They are Braden Swinson, the edge player out of Oregon, Paris Shand, the defensive tackle from Arizona, and Jalen Lee, the defensive tackle from the University of Florida. I'll talk about each of them here in a moment. But here was Brian Kelly talking about the approach to the portal. Especially the way the question was phrased is, a year in, are you more comfortable with the portal? And this was Brian Kelly sort of explaining the way they're approaching how they want to use the portal moving forward.
I don't feel confident in the portal. I think I feel confident in what we're going to use the portal for, and that is strictly to bolster a position group that is still in need of development. This program, as I said, will be built by freshmen, and development will happen within these walls. We're still not there, in particular, on the defensive side of the ball. And so you'll see that as we move forward on Friday's announcements in terms of players. But the portal is a very tricky environment. So I think what I'm confident about is that we have a plan, and a plan as to how we're going to use it, the kind of players that we want to bring in out of the portal. But I think it's a moving target still, and you've got to be very, very careful.
Okay. I want to reiterate, a year ago, the portal was a necessity. We talked about this about a bunch on yesterday's show, but a year ago, the portal was a necessity. We all know the numbers. You were decimated. You had to go get guys in the portal, and they ended up having 15 mid-year guys out of the portal and ended up being 19 in total because you had some guys that didn't show up until the fall. So you had to do that just so you could have guys on your roster that had played college football. Remember, you still had the hard cap of 25. Now, you got the luxury of signing 7 over that number because of COVID and all that stuff, so you massaged the numbers a bit, but you didn't have the luxury of going and signing 40 high school players to get your numbers back up. You had to use the portal, and they did, which is why you saw guys like Colby Richardson and, of course, Mekhi Gardner and Kyron Lacey and all the guys that we talked about, and a lot of whom played a massive part in your team. I mean, your quarterback was a transfer. You brought in 2 offensive linemen. What ended up being your best interior defensive lineman was a transfer. I mean, your 2 starting cornerbacks were a transfer. You started a safety and a nickel that were transfers. I mean, you had to. You had to. But that's also not sustainable because then you're turning your roster over. So that's what Brian Kelly's saying. This is going to be built. The roster is going to be built on the backs of freshmen. Not saying you're going to play freshmen. And he was asked about that because he asked for clarification. He came back later and, was talked about playing. Can you play number 4? Because he talked about the importance of getting younger and building through the freshmen, but not completely relying on them. Here's what he said.
I think we saw that this year, that we could play some freshmen and compete at the highest level, and that confidence level obviously has allowed us to look at freshmen and say, you know what, we can play freshmen. Do we want to have freshmen across the board? Probably not. We would like to be a little bit more veteran, if you will. And I will be quite frank with you, is that there are some position groups that we need to kind of help out, if you will, through the transfer portal with more veteran players. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stunt the growth of a particular position group because we're bringing in somebody from the transfer portal. We're still going to let them compete, and the best players will play. But I love your question because I think we gained so much more confidence this year, and I did in seeing Emery and Will in particular and Mason go out, and certainly Harold go out and compete as freshmen at a high level.
So, okay, I know we're throwing a lot at you here, but again, today is a lot about the literal people that you're using to build the program and the signees, but also continuing to illustrate what Brian Kelly's approach is going to be as he builds this roster and continues to build this program. So, yes, look, you have some young dudes show up and show out, and you got Emory Jones and Will Campbell and Harold Perkins and Mason Taylor. Yeah, you learn, okay, we can play freshmen that are elite and can survive at this level. But there's also going to be position groups where you got to supplement. And clearly, you've heard Brian say this over and over again. Brian Kelly say this over and over again, is they have got to add players on the defensive line. Jaquelin Roy declared for the draft. Mason Smith's coming back off of injury. But you had 3 dudes playing at D-tackle last year. This season. You had Mekhi Wingo, Jaquelin Roy, Jacobian Guillory. They played all the snaps. You didn't see Bryce Langston. You didn't see Tyjee Hill. You didn't see Fitzgerald West. When you saw depth, you saw like moving Ali Gay inside, right? I mean, that's how they gave dudes a break. They just didn't have numbers. So they got to add numbers and experienced depth, and that's what they did. So Brian Kelly's always said his preference in the portal is to take guys from Louisiana, and they did that with Jalen Lee. So Jalen Lee is a guy from, of course, from Live Oak, who signed with Florida, played 3 years there in Gainesville, 25 games, and now is coming back to Louisiana to finish out his college career in basically his hometown. So they added a Louisiana guy and a dude that is now 21 years old instead of an 18-year-old, a 21-year-old that's played 3 years in the SEC and 25 games. Again, you didn't add somebody that you're expecting to come in and be a starter day one. If that happens, awesome. He will have earned it. But more importantly, what you did is you added a guy that gives you experienced depth. So you add Jalen Lee, and then they also added Paris Shand. Paris Shand is one of the guys from the University of Arizona who was on campus, and he committed. By the way, his commitment tweet was awesome. He has like this old school picture of Mike the Tiger. It's like a Tiger Cub Mike, like biting a football with LSU written on it. Like, I don't know where he dug up that picture, but it's awesome. And his commitment post is one word. It just says committed. That's it. Good for you. Keep it simple. Paris Shand played 3 years at the University of Arizona, played in 23 games. Again, you're seeing experience depth. Not overwhelming. In 3 years, 23 games, 41 tackles, 5.5 for loss, couple of forced fumbles. He's not coming in here to say, I'm taking Mason Smith's job. It's to say, when Mason Smith and Mekhi Wingo need a breather, I'm not kicking Ali Gay down. I'm not kicking my defensive end down and putting in an extra end or an extra linebacker. I'm just bringing in a dude that's played in 25 college football games at the FBS level. So that's what you continue to see with these additions. And the third, is Braden Swinson. Now, Braden Swinson is a defensive end from Oregon, another dude who's played 3 years at Oregon, 30 career games played, and he committed to LSU last night. So again, whenever you're looking at the end position, they're at the edge. You've got B.J. Ojulari going to the draft. We've talked about Savion Jones, who was basically the big edge on the left side, but backing up Ali Gay. Xavier Carter is the guy that's probably your jack linebacker, and now you've added some edge players. Obviously, you did that today. Deshaun Womack, who's the second highest rated prospect in your class, who's an edge player, who's likely going to give you immediate snaps. Well, now you've got a guy, instead of just a dude in Xavier Carter that's a first-time starter, provided he wins the job, and a true freshman, now you've got a guy in that mix that's played 3 years of college football and 30 games at the FBS level in the Pac-12, who's physically at 21, 22 years old going to be more developed than dudes at 18 that can give you experience in your rotation. That's a vast, vast difference than a year ago going saying, we need Joe Fouché. We need Greg Brooks. We need Jark Bernard Converse. We need Mekhi Garner. We need Jaden Daniels. You know what I mean? Like, you needed all these guys to field a roster. Now those guys are, okay, we're hitting the portal in spots where we're thin to give us depth and competition. That's a dramatically different conversation than LSU was having a year ago. So a really productive day on Tuesday where, I mean, all within like 10 minutes of each other, boom, boom, boom. Lee, Shand, Swinson, all committed. LSU, again, is going to wait till Friday to formally announce all of the transfers. But Brian Kelly said it. They expect to have between 8 and 10 transfer players in the mid-year. So here in January to go through spring ball. You got 4 committed right now. You got more coming. And he's told you where. Defensive line, secondary, more players, more targets are coming. We'll see when they do. But big additions in a literal sense with these large humans and figuratively at a position where you needed veteran depth, and they got it. All right, it's after further review. It is National Signing Day. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC, kind of get you caught up on what happened around the conference today with Signing Day. I'm not going to go through everybody who committed or flipped. We'll just hit some of the high points today from around the league on National Signing Day. Glad you're with us here. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Better coverage for less money. Y'all, holidays are here. It's a stressful time for a lot of families. A lot of people overextend themselves financially. You swipe that credit card a little too much. You're trying to pay for Christmas, for holidays, all that sort of stuff. You get to the new year and those bills come due and you're like, man, what am I going to do? Call Insurance Network of Louisiana. Let them shop independently for free to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. What if you could spend a few $100 a month less on your insurance starting this month than you're currently paying? I mean, there are instances where we see people save thousands of dollars annually, as much as $5,000, $10,000 annually on their coverage. What if you could knock that off your monthly bills? Would that help your budget? Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop. You won't know until you call, and it's totally free. There's no catch. They shop for free to see if they can find you better coverage for less money. If they can, switch. 293-0450 or lainsurance.net.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit. We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I'm going to go around the SEC in just a sec. Also, Taylor Calandro in 10 minutes. The second half of the Rare Whiskey Raffle is today. Did it in studio a couple of weeks ago. We were waiting for their Van Winkle allocation, and they've now got it. So 19 more bottles will be raffled off tonight after the Jay Ducote show on the Talk 107. Actually, I don't think it's going to be on Talk. I think it's going to be on the Calandro's Facebook page. So that's all coming up. If you missed this was interesting. John Oran, the Sports Business Journal, reported earlier today that Google and YouTube, YouTube TV, but Google owns YouTube, of course, will pay $2.5 billion per year to carry NFL's Sunday Ticket. Incredible. 2.5, you heard that correctly, 2.5 billion per year. So when we've talked about salary cap going up and things like that in the NFL, that's a great illustration of why. With these new TV contracts, Sunday Ticket's going up to $2.5 billion per year. So yes, revenues are going up, which means the cap will go up. I'm actually excited about it. I'm curious what this will do to DirecTV in a world where the world continues to go more and more digital, streaming, cord cutting. Can DirecTV survive losing Sunday Ticket as much of a massive play as that was? What was really interesting, though, is that Apple was in the mix for the negotiations, but Apple pulled out because Apple's model was they wanted to offer Sunday Ticket at a lower price for consumers, and the NFL said no. And the reason is because the NFL, in their contract with CBS and Fox, it prevents the NFL from offering Sunday Ticket at a significantly lower price because they don't want people saying, I'm not going to watch Fox or CBS. I'll just watch everything on Sunday Ticket. So they want you to be watching on the networks for your local games. So Apple was like, all right, I'm out of it. Amazon was in the negotiations as well, but apparently Amazon's number wasn't anywhere near what Google was willing to pay. So looks like Sunday Ticket is headed to YouTube TV, and that may be the thing that actually gets me to cut the cord. I would do it anyway. My wife's the one that pushes back tremendously against it, but she still has a landline fame or infamy. But looking like that's going to happen. YouTube TV will be the new carrier of Sunday Ticket. Prepare accordingly. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138 for Relief Windows, reliefwindows.com. Energy-efficient replacement windows, beautiful entry doors, hardy plank vinyl siding. You know when I say energy-efficient replacement windows? Tonight, the low is 45. We're getting into the teens the next few nights. Those drafty windows, you know how much more your home central heater is going to have to work to keep your home warm because of those drafty windows, letting the cold air in and the warm air out. Not if you've got energy-efficient windows from Relief Windows. They measure twice to install once. Lifetime warranty on labor, material, and glass breakage. Lower your energy bills, increase your home's resale value. It's a no-brainer. It's Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding, Relief Windows, and ReliefWindows.com. All right, Taylor Calandro coming up here shortly for Bourbon Dictionary. Right now, let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions.
All right, let's take a look at how the day went nationally for the SEC teams. Paul, if you would pull this up. All right, so the consensus recruiting rankings have been updated. Alabama, the number one class in America, with 6 5-stars, 19 4-stars, and 2 3-stars, so 27 in all. Georgia, second in the country. You'll have to scroll down to LSU at 6 in the consensus on 3 rankings to find the next SEC school. So LSU third in the conference, 6th nationally. Billy Napier and the Gators there at 10. There is Tennessee at 12. And maybe one of the big stories of the day, A&M, after having the best class literally ever a year ago, they're at 15 this year. Clearly, the Aggie boosters not willing to spend the way they did a year ago after getting burned with a lot of those players entering the portal. Auburn and South Carolina follow Texas A&M. And then in the top 25, you've also got Arkansas at 22. and Mississippi State and Zach Arnett at 26 for his first class. Then you got to drop pretty significantly before you get to Ole Miss and Missouri at 32, 33, Kentucky there at 35. And I'm sure Vanderbilt's somewhere on this list, but who really cares? All right, Muse, I asked you to kind of scour the interwebs there. Players, flips, other significant notes today?
Yeah, Georgia, you mentioned them there at number 2 in the country, Matt. The big one they landed today was 5-star edge Damon Wilson, 17th ranked player nationally. This just coming across the desk relating to Georgia. Yeah. Matt Zenitz of On3 reporting that Eric Gilbert has entered the transfer portal. Of course, Georgia tight end, formerly LSU tight end as well.
That's interesting.
I
don't know where he's going to go, man. Anyway.
Yeah. Alabama as well. I mean, you mentioned it. They had 6 5-stars. They landed 2 of them today. Defensive lineman James Smith, 14th ranked nationally. And linebacker Quay Russaw, 19th ranked player nationally. Probably butchered that. Sorry. But good luck at Alabama. Nailed it. Actually, not good luck to you at all. Hope you lose to LSU
hope you lose them all.
Yeah. Auburn flipped. How about
good luck in nothing, Quay?
Yeah, get out of here, guy. Auburn flipped 2 players today. 4-star corner Kayan Lee from Ohio State and 4-star edge Keldrick Falk from Florida State. So you freeze, man.
Auburn ain't afraid to spend that money, man. I mean, that's one of the things that I'll tell you. They were pretty brash, Auburn was, in this portal season. Their boosters were, I should say. Not Auburn specifically, but in throwing around some cash. So clearly they were able to land a few.
And clearly. I mean, they fire every head coach they have, and they're paying like 3 of them right now. Florida. The biggest news for Florida really today was they lost 4-star edge rusher Isaiah Nixon to UCF, but Billy Napier and the Gators still boast the number 10 class in the country according to the On3 consensus. And then Mississippi State, Matt, you touched on it earlier. They were able to retain land, I should say, the highest commit in their class. That was 4-star safety Isaac Smith. Of course, LSU in on him as well.
All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy, Trey Beal. And our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products online at gcopnet.com, gcopnet.com. For Gulf Coast Office Products, face-to-face sales, service after the sale, that's what you get always at Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, the ULL Raging Cajuns. It's Gulf Coast Office Products. Check them out today, gcopnet.com. All right, Taylor Calandro, a little Bourbon Dictionary coming up. Y'all, I mean, this weekend is Christmas. What are you putting in the eggnog? How do you make that perfect old-fashioned? What is that can't-miss, sure-to-impress your father-in-law bottle that you got to go buy over at Calandro's or wherever you do your shopping today? Taylor's got answers to all those questions and many more. So email us, tweet us, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, or text your question to 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Bourbon Dictionary next.
AFR.
We are brought to you by the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org. That's brgeneral.org. Still get on by. Check out the holiday lights at the Baton Rouge General. Remember, that's rolling all the way through New Year's Eve. I had a meeting at the General yesterday. Holiday lights, even during the day, look pretty awesome. So check them out there at brgeneral.org to get all the info. brgeneral.org. But, man, while they do so much for the community, golly, they do so much to expand healthcare as well. Consider their surgery department as well. The Advanced Robotics Institute, a one-of-a-kind, certainly in the region. You're talking about robotic surgery, where whatever you're doing that you may fear as far as the surgery you need, what if you could have that done without even being cut? It's incredible. You got to learn more about the Advanced Robotics Institute at the Baton Rouge General. Minimally invasive, personalized care. It's all there at the Baton Rouge General Hospital. brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150, plus no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm Sylvia Witherspoon in the WBRZ studios. Here is a preview of what we are working on for News 2 at 6 o'clock. The Christmas cold creeps in. Dr. Josh has the latest on when the temperature will tumble. And with the freezing forecast comes concerns about your health, what you need to know to stay healthy until it warms up again. Plus, families displaced days before the holidays after a troubled Tigerland apartment complex catches fire. Now the property could be seized. That and more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2 at 6.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Big night tonight over at Calandro's, where they'll put a punctuation, an exclamation mark on the Rare Whiskey Raffle. Taylor's with us here. How are you, dude?
I'm good, Matt. What's happening?
You gearing up for tonight?
Gearing up for tonight. I'm actually serving JD and Chuck P some delicious beverages right now in the front of the store.
I am in no way surprised that those two were drinking at 3:48 p.m. Central before they even go on the air. What are you doing? What are they doing? Let's see. So we had the Calandro's Rare Whiskey Raffle in studio a couple of weeks ago. We mentioned it then. The PAPI and BTAC allocation hadn't come in, but you wanted to go ahead and do the raffle in December. Well, it's in now, so just explain how it's going to work tonight for those that have tickets.
Yeah, so we're done selling tickets. I'm sorry, it's a lot of paperwork on our end to do more tickets. So we're done selling tickets. If you don't have tickets, none of this matters to you. But yes, so we got a nice little list of extra things, including pretty much the full Van Winkle lineup minus the 23 year. Including the 13-year rye. I think there's about 10 bottles of the Van Winkles total. Some Parker's Heritage, Old Fitzgerald 19-year, E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof, Michter's Toasted Sour Mash, an Eagle Rare 17, a few George T. Staggs, a few Thomas Handys, and a few Elmer T. Lees tonight. So I think we're going to have about 30 more bottles tonight.
Oh, excellent. Okay, because I know the list that you put out showed 19 bottles.
Yeah, we got a few more things today, actually.
Excellent, because there were no BTACs on the list initially. So, or at least there was, or actually, I think there was only maybe a, I'm looking at it right here.
There was the Eagle Rare 17 originally on that list we put out, but we added 3 George T. Staggs today and 3 Thomas Handies today.
Okay, fantastic. So about 30 bottles in all that'll be raffled off tonight on the Calandro's Facebook page?
On the Calandro's Facebook page with Chuck P. and Jay Dakota.
All right, y'all be sure to tune in tonight. It'll be a lot of fun, of course, and all the proceeds raised, which the final tally ended up being $69,900, correct?
Yeah, $69,900 to 4 kids in St. Louis.
That's incredible, man. Great work as always for you, for Mark, for everybody over there, and all everyone that participated. So,
yeah.
Hat tip, great thing to do. All right, get your questions in for Taylor. Email us, tweet us at Matt Moscona, jump in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Let's get your questions in here. By the way, real quick, anything for the holidays, new things people might be interested in?
So we just got in some new benchmark expressions, actually, that we're going to be putting out this afternoon. There was a single barrel, bonded, a 4-grain, and there was a couple more. There's 5 different expressions, I think. It's off the benchmark series, which is the lower end Sazerac product. I said quotation marks, but yeah, check those out. I haven't got to try them. I'm actually about to try some with Jay and Chuck and see how they are.
Okay. Let's see. Scott McDonald said, ask Taylor, what's the best whiskey under $40?
I'm about to tell you if this benchmark's really good, because and I didn't tell you the price, but those benchmarks are going to be from $20 to $30.
Okay.
So I would suggest something like that, or like Elijah Craig is fantastic for under $40.
I would say Elijah Craig runs right about $27. The Elijah Craig small batch, it's fantastic. I mean, and look, I'll throw in a rye. I always throw in Sazerac, which I mean you can get Sazerac for like $20 now.
Oh yeah.
Which is if you want to go rye, it's fantastic.
Yep.
Let's see. Jason Francois said, "Is the new Jefferson's bourbon this sea aged? Is it worth $87 a bottle?"
I like it. You don't.
You talking about Jefferson's Ocean?
Yeah.
Why does he say sea aged?
Anyway,
I know you don't know. You don't know. I'm the one reading. I'm the one reading the text.
I'm deciphering the language, and
Okay.
I'm assuming he's talking about ocean.
Me too. Okay.
I like ocean. I think it's a little pricey, but I like ocean, and I really like ocean if you can find it weeded.
Now I've pointed that distinction out all the time. Jefferson's Ocean is very good. It's very good. I just wouldn't pay $90 for it. But Jefferson's Ocean weeded, I would pay $100 for that all day and every day and twice a day on Sunday or whatever the expression is. The Jefferson's Ocean weeded is magnificent.
We've done a couple barrel picks, and I don't know if we'll ever get any of those anymore. But I miss those barrel picks in particular.
That's what turned me onto it. Clark Dennis said Buffalo Trace or Buffalo Trace single barrel.
He's asking either or. I mean, so Buffalo Trace is technically a blend of just a bunch of barrels. The single barrel is exactly what it is. What do I prefer? I prefer the single barrels. I think Buffalo Trace single barrel compared to the regular everyday stuff that they put out is far superior to that.
Chad Guidry, have you had Good Earth bourbon from Bayou Terrebonne Distillers?
I have, and I actually met the guy that owns that place not too long ago. It's pretty good. He ages, and it's the only certified Louisiana bourbon in the state right now. Which I think to be certified Louisiana, it has to be at least 75% or something like that. Ingredients sourced from Louisiana. He ages it in smaller barrels, similar to Garrison Brothers. But for what it is, I think it's decent.
Okay, what's the price point on it?
And I think it's $55.
Okay. Jake Stockinger asked Taylor, is Rebecca Creek 16 worth the money?
I have not tried Rebecca Creek 16. And honestly, we haven't seen Rebecca Creek in general around here in a while. I don't know why.
Okay. Trey Simmons asked Taylor, ever going to get peg leg porker at the Segan location?
We get peg leg porker from time to time. It's an allocated product, so when we get it, it does go kind of fast, but you can get lucky and find the bottle of peg leg porker. Some of the stuff does sit here for a while. We don't have any right now, but we do generally have it.
Yeah, I don't want there to be a run on the place, but there was a Maxwell's on Highland. I saw peg leg porker just sitting there on the shelf not long ago. So
yeah,
you can see it.
Definitely find it floating around town for
sure. Best Christmas beer?
I've talked about it before. I love Shiner Cheer. That's just my personal favorite. I think it's pecans and peaches. It's not like a traditional Christmas beer, but that's my favorite.
He is Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Again, the second go-round of the Rare Whiskey Raffle coming up tonight. 6:15?
6:30.
6:30 on the Calandro's Facebook page.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Merry Christmas. I'm out next week,
man.
so we'll talk to you after the new year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Thank you, man. All right, be
All right,
well. That's Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. This is After Further Review. Hump Day Show is brought to you by Pluckers. Of course, Pluckers Trivia tonight and every Wednesday, both locations. 7:30 on Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock on Nicholson. Get them by either location. Get your team together. Maybe you got family in town. Go play trivia tonight at either Pluckers location, Nicholson or Bluebonnet. It's Pluckers. You don't like our wings, give you the bird. Okay, we'll knock out a break. National headlines from SportsCenter are coming right up. We'll recap LSU's signing day. Let's hear from Brian Kelly when we come back right after the top of the hour. Don't you move. Hour number 2 of AFR is next.
AFR.
Merry Christmas from our friends over at Michelli Weighing and Measurement, celebrating 75 years in business. They are an ISO 17025 accredited laboratory. I say it all the time. You weigh or measure something, they sell, service, rent the products that you use to weigh and measure. And one of the things that you hear so consistently at Michelli is people know they do scales. You go to the airport, when you go put your luggage on the scales, just look on the side of that panel there, you'll see a Michelli sticker. Like, they do scales. That's what everybody knows them for. But what so many people do is they go to the website and they go, I didn't realize you did that. Oh, yes. The long list of services that Michelli offers, the weighing and measurement services, their expert service measurement tools and equipment of all makes and models. If you need scale service, equipment maintenance, and calibration, Michelli does it all, and they do it from sea to shining sea. Learn more at Michelli.com. Michelli.com. You can learn more about their track system, which allows you 24/7, 365 access to your certificates. It's Michelli.com.
Sky, I've got that sunshine.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
A third of youth who grow up in foster care are homeless 18 months after aging out of care. But you can rewrite that story. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Steelers Pro Football Hall of Famer Franco Harris is being remembered as kind, compassionate, and humble as the NFL world mourns his death. Harris has died at the age of 72, no cause of death given. Harris, the author of what's considered the most iconic play in NFL history, the Immaculate Reception, a play that placed Harris on the Mount Rushmore of players for the league, believes ESPN NFL reporter Sal Paolantonio.
The sport was changing at that time, and it became the television sport that we know it. The Steelers and Franco Harris put the NFL on the launch pad culturally that launched the NFL into the true television sport that it became in the 80s and the 90s.
The Steelers are scheduled to retire Harris's number 32 jersey during halftime of the Raiders game Saturday. Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts did not practice today because of a sprained right shoulder. Gardner Minshew will start against the Cowboys Saturday if Hurts can't go. The Colts bench quarterback Matt Ryan for a second time this season. They will start Nick Foles against the Chargers on Monday night. Foles likely also starts the remainder of this season.
Hi, this is Max Kellerman from Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. All of us here at ESPN Radio would like to wish you happy holidays and a happy new year.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Signing day. Got a ton still we want to unpack. LSU, 25 signees. Dalen Austin, the cornerback from California, a longtime commitment, flipped to Oregon today. LSU did flip the tight end, Kamorian Pimpton from Vanderbilt. So, and they held on to everybody else. So 25 signees for the Tigers today. The transfer portal guys will all be announced on Friday, according to Brian Kelly. I want to get into, in particular, what Brian Kelly had to say about the secondary here in just a second. I'd be remiss if we didn't mention further the passing of Franco Harris today. What a just bizarre timing as well. It's sad timing considering this weekend is the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. And Saturday, the Steelers were set to retire his number 32. So literally 3 days before the Steelers were set to retire his number and he was going to be honored for the 50th anniversary of the most famous play in NFL history, Franco Harris dies at 72. I didn't know Franco Harris. I met Franco Harris. I spent one evening with Franco Harris. And this was January 20th of 2018. And it was in New Orleans, and we were both being honored on the same night, he for a far greater reason. It was the Louisiana American Italian Sports Hall of Fame, and Franco Harris was the Hall of Fame honoree that night. And I was very, very fortunate enough to receive the Buddy DiLiberto, the Buddy D Media Award. So Franco Harris and I, along with other honorees that night, were at the head table, and I had a few recollections of the evening. Number one, you get a room full of Italians in all together, and everybody's drinking and having a good time. every one of the honorees was able to speak, was able to give sort of an acceptance speech. And you get a lot of long-winded Italians in the same room, and they got liquor in there, it starts to drag a little bit. And I remember I was very aware of that, and so I kept my speech literally like 30 seconds. I mean, I recognized Buddy D, and I was gone. And Franco Harris's wife leaned over to me and said, "Thank you so much." that was one. She was tapping her toes a little bit because some of the speeches had gotten long. The other thing that I distinctly remember is thinking, and this was, so let's see, this was January of 2018. So this is 5 years ago. This is almost 5 years ago. And so Franco Harris dies today at 72. He would have been 67 at the time. And I remember thinking, man, football, and he expressed this as well. Football took its toll on Franco Harris. I mean, he played in a different era, a very physical style of play, obviously, and it took its toll on him. But the other thing that I'll tell you about Franco Harris, and again, I'm not telling you that I knew Franco Harris or he was done playing before I was even old enough to remember. The Steelers let him go in 84. I was born in 82. So Franco Harris is a player. I only know what I've seen on clips, right? But, of course, you know Franco Harris. You know the Immaculate Reception, and you know who he was, went to Penn State, and all the great Steelers teams, he's a Hall of Famer and everything. The event that night was at the Hilton in downtown New Orleans. You're right there by the Riverwalk, right across from Harrah's. And it was in a ballroom upstairs. And before the event, Franco Harris was essentially holding court outside. I mean, everyone that went there was there to see Franco Harris. He's Franco Harris. But keeping in mind, this was 45 years after the Immaculate Reception. 45 years after that play. And everybody that was there to shake hands with, take a picture with, get an autograph from Franco Harris. And he was so genuine. Like, you can tell when you're in enough situations like that, when some people are there just to take the picture, shake the hands, and out of their obligation, they go about their day. He was so genuinely appreciative of being remembered. He was so genuinely interested in everybody and thankful to everybody that shook his hand. Like, almost to the point that he was, I remember thinking, like, it was almost like disbelief. Like, he was stopping and talking to everybody that was taking pictures and signing autographs, to the point where, as the evening was about to start, I was like, "Hey, Franco, we got to get you into the room here and start the night." Just a sincerely, just genuine person. That'll be my recollection of Franco Harris, the man. Obviously, the guy I've seen, that we've all seen on the highlight for forever, right? I mean, scooping the ball up off the ground after it, back in 1972 against Oakland, when the ball ricocheted after Terry Bradshaw threw it, and we've all seen the play a bajillion times. And that's always been my recollection of Franco Harris. But I'm fortunate to have a different one. I haven't gotten to spend an evening with him and with he and his wife. Just wonderful people. His wife Dana, and they were, and well, I should say they were wonderful. They were wonderful to me that evening and to everyone else that was there. And I feel very fortunate to have had that opportunity to, like, this job has given me a lot of opportunities to do some cool stuff, man. And I never take them for granted. Like, to spend an evening with Franco Harris is pretty stinking cool. I think anyone that loves sports, I get to spend an hour with Billy Cannon on the radio at TJ Ribbs one night before his book signing. And, you grow up an LSU fan, and, like, you hear, it's the first name you ever hear is Billy Cannon. I mean, the Halloween Run, it's all that stuff. And, man, I never take that stuff for granted, man. It's so cool to get to do that. And I'll be forever grateful that I had that opportunity, by sheer happenstance, to spend that evening with Franco Harris. And I'll remember him fondly as a very genuinely good and decent human being who just happened also to be a Hall of Fame football player. But Franco Harris dies at the age of 72. Man, just 3 days before they're going to retire his number on the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception, man. Sometimes life ain't fair. That's obvious. But clearly led a great life. All right. It's After Further Review. We're glad to have you aboard with us here. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, online at theantiagingclinics.com. That's theantiagingclinics.com. Remember, it's not too late. They are closed on Friday. So tomorrow is your last chance to get on by and get gift cards before Christmas. Take advantage of the great gift card special. Every increment you buy, it unlocks other great free giveaways with fillers and other things like that, products and services. You can get all the info at the website at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette. Get it online at theantiagingclinics.com. Let me do this. I'd intended in this segment, I went long talking about Franco Harris. My apologies. Well, I'm not actually going to apologize for it. I wanted to do that. But I apologize because I teased that I was going to talk about some of the defensive positions, in particular the secondary, as Brian Kelly talked about, and what their targets still are. And I do want to go deeper because Kelly had a lot. He gushed over Javen Toviano today, and I want you to hear that. And I want to go a little deeper there. So let me just stay on time here. I'll grab a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the LSU secondary. We're glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Clegg's Nursery. Of course, those last-minute gift ideas, Clegg's is always a great spot. If you have a gardener, a green thumb, or a do-it-yourselfer on your list, get on by any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. They got gift cards, so if you're not sure what to get, just give them a gift card for the green thumb or the do-it-yourself. Remember, they're partnered with True Value Hardware Store, so all the things you'd find at a True Value Hardware Store, you can also find at Clegg's, and you're supporting a great local company. So Clegg's gift cards are great. Also, great time to plant. They've also got wind chimes, hummingbird feeders, citrus trees, camellias. It's a great time to plant those trees right now. This is the time of year to plant trees. So get on by any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Roses are going to be arriving soon as well. Excited to tell you more about that. But get by any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations to find that perfect gift. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
What a dramatically different experience for Brian Kelly in his second signing day as opposed to his first as the LSU coach. A year ago, he had less than 3 weeks from the time he was hired until the early signing period to try to get some of those commits to stick around, of course, flip other prospects. I mean, it was a sprint, which is why we didn't really hear from Brian Kelly for a couple of months after he was hired. He did take some time today to reflect on the differences from a year ago to now.
Getting to know the families and the individuals so much better. I think there were a couple of the freshmen last year that, I didn't even get a chance to meet the parents until they came on campus, when they dropped their sons off. And that's not the way to recruit, obviously, but it was what it was. This recruiting has been great in the sense that they've been over my home. I've been in their home. They've been on campus several times. So you get a connection, and that for me in a recruiting standpoint is that I'm going to know their son and be able to take care of their son, and that's what they want. So when we're talking about these players, could they transfer? Sure, but you feel so much more confident that you've made the right choices and they've made the right choices, that LSU is the right place for them, and they're not here under false pretenses or a quick sell, or that you're selling a used car to them, that you're really selling the right vision for them as to why they're here.
I thought it was pretty well said, and there's still work to do. So 25 signees today for LSU. And Brian Kelly said, look, there's four public commits from the portal that we know of, and there's still more. Desmond Ricks is going to make his announcement tomorrow. He's expected to pick LSU, and Brian Kelly said you're probably still looking at, he said he's 8 to 10 transfer portal guys on campus for spring. We got 4 committed right now. Another 4 to 6 transfer portal guys that are very likely to pop. Here was Brian Kelly when he was asked what positions of need after today they're still targeting.
A heavy influence on the defensive line. I think you'll see defensive line, defensive backfield as the particular areas that we still need to address as we move forward.
Okay, defensive line, defensive backfield. Now, defensive line, one of the highest-rated prospects in your class, of course, Deshaun Womack is on the defensive line. You did not sign today a defensive tackle, but you did get a couple of them out of the portal. One from Arizona, Jalen Lee, of course, who's a guy from Live Oak who went to Florida, spent 3 years there. Paris Shands, the prospect out of Arizona, who played 3 years there for the Wildcats. So you have addressed that via the portal. Kelly also mentioned there the secondary. And what's interesting about the secondary is you're gutted there, right? They got 2 scholarship cornerbacks on the roster right now. 2 for next year. You've got Sevyn Banks coming back, and you got LaTerrence Welch. That's it as far as corners. Now, you were addressing that or looking to address that in this class. And look, if Desmond Ricks pops tomorrow as he's expected to, that's massive, okay? But the other part of it is with the defensive backs that you've signed so far, you got a whole bunch of them, but only Jeremiah Hughes is listed as a corner. Ashton Stamps is a safety. Michael Doherty's a safety. Javen Toviano, he's a safety. Ryan Yates is a safety. So you got a lot of defensive backs, but not a lot of cornerbacks. So Brian Kelly was asked about the flexibility. Like, could some of these safeties play corner if needed?
No, I think we've addressed it. We feel really comfortable when recruiting has completed, and it hasn't completed totally for us yet. We feel like we're going to be to the numbers that we wanted to be at the cornerback position. So is there a little bit of flexibility there? Yeah, absolutely. I think, we know that there's great flexibility with Ryan Yates as a guy that can play corner and safety. I know there's some flexibility even with some players on our roster. But we feel good about the numbers that will be reflected, as we get into, we're gonna have a recruiting weekend in January, and that one recruiting weekend in January will probably be where we kind of finish off our recruiting for this recruiting cycle.
It's going to be big. Obviously, the portal window closes on January the 20th. So you've got the month of January still to go, the rest of December and into January, this 45-day window. They are not done. But he's telling you there. The safeties they signed, they like it safety. And remember, they need safeties. I mean, Joe Foucher's gone. Jay Ward's gone. Major Burns will be back. Greg Brooks can certainly come back. He played a lot of nickel for you this year, but you need safeties. Jordan Tolles transferred before last season. You need safeties. So they signed a whole bunch of them today. But they're going to need cornerbacks as well. Desmond Ricks is a big part of that. But they're going to hit the transfer portal. Brian Kelly's telling you they're going to go get cornerbacks out of the transfer portal. One of the guys he did not mention there, though, is Javen Toviano, who's one of the most highly decorated players in this class. I mean, if you look at the on-3 consensus rankings, Lance Hurd is the highest-ranked player in LSU's class, 5-star offensive lineman. Shelton Sampson, the 5-star wide receiver out of Catholic High in Baton Rouge. Deshaun Womack, the 5-star edge rusher out of Baltimore, Maryland. And then Toviano, your highest-ranked 4-star in the class. Brian Kelly had an awful lot to say about the young man out of Arlington, Texas.
Recruiting can be, kind of a bittersweet kind of deal where the bitter is actually recruiting the guy because it's so difficult, because you're like, man, he's a hard guy to like, and sweet in that he ends up coming your way. This kid is an amazing young man, and it was just enjoyable to spend time with him and his family. So to get the opportunity to recruit somebody that you enjoyed being around as much as this young man, and him choose your university, it feels like a double win in that respect, because he fits all the criteria we're looking for off the field, in the classroom, and then on the field. He is an elite player. So probably would say that it was extremely enjoyable recruiting him.
Javen Toviano, safety, 6 foot, 185-pounder out of Arlington, Texas. That was a hotly contested recruiting battle that LSU, Brian Kelly, and the staff won. But again, a guy that's coming in to play safety, not to play corner. But LSU loaded up at the safety spot, still work to do at corner, and you would anticipate that they're going to hit that heavy in the transfer portal before this window closes in January. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. I've told you before, so many people have used the Williamson Eye Center, even pro athletes. Look, I mean, from Jason Hines and Caleb Von Chasson and Devin White and so many others, LSU guys, football players, basketball, baseball, even someone like me and Jimmy Ott, who are patients of Dr. Blake Williamson as well. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you use your eyesight because you need to be able to see the down marker on the sideline, you need to be able to see the spin of a baseball, or you just want to wake up in the morning and be able to see your alarm clock, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Dr. Blake Williamson will take great care of you just like he did me. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. Go for that consultation. Remember, it's not too late. You can still get that gift card. You want to give someone the gift of LASIK this Christmas. What a stocking stuffer that would be, right? You get that gift card from the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com. So much of this cycle clearly is about or this 24-hour period or 36-hour period is about the class of 2023. But, man, LSU got a really nice surprise for the class of 2025 as well. Brett Bordelon out of Newman, if the name sounds familiar, it should. He committed to LSU for the class of 2025. Again, this is a high school sophomore who's committing 2 years prior to his commitment or to his signing date. He's just finishing his second year of high school. So We all know the Bordelons by now, right? So Ben Bordelon played at LSU in the 90s. Bo Bordelon signed with LSU a year ago and just finished his first season as an LSU Tiger. He redshirted. And Brett Bordelon is now committed for the class of 2025. I want to put this into perspective for y'all. So Bo Bordelon, who just finished his freshman year at LSU, freshman season, is finishing his freshman season at LSU. So 3 years the elder. Bo, who's a good prospect, was a 3-star, athletic body, dad played at LSU, all that stuff. Bo, LSU lists him at 6'6", 292. 6'6", 292. Tall, long, athletic guy, still room to grow into his frame, all that sort of stuff. Brett is a high school sophomore, 3 years younger, high school sophomore, 6'5", 285. He's an inch shorter and 7 pounds lighter than his brother, who's 3 years older. Give that kid 2 more years in high school to develop and then get him into a strength and training program at LSU. They don't have star ratings yet or anything like that for the class of 2025. It's too early. But he's already got offers. He went to camps. He's already got offers from Bama, Georgia, Texas. Committed to LSU, of course. His legacy. I mean, his dad played at LSU. His brother's at LSU now. And now it looks like he'll be an LSU Tiger as well. By the way, if you follow Ben Bordelon on social media, on LinkedIn or any social media, he posted some really cool pictures of his 2 boys as little kids, like wearing their little Hutch LSU football outfits and stuff. So it's got to be really cool for that family to know that you're gonna have these generations of LSU Tigers, and your boys grow up loving the university. And I say it often, like that is the competitive advantage that in this NIL culture LSU is going to have here. It's not going to be for every kid in this state, but there's going to be enough elite prospects in this state who grew up wearing the LSU jersey, who want to play in Tiger Stadium, who want to be Tigers, and it's just going to matter to them. And it's why LSU is always going to have that competitive advantage in recruiting. So congrats to Brett Bordelon, committed now for the class of 2025. He'll have an opportunity in a couple of years to join his brother on campus in Baton Rouge. All right, it's after further review. Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back. Do a little overrated, underrated. We'll have Tigers in the pros. A lot more Brian Kelly had to say about guys like Lance Hurd, Jaylen Brown, the class breakdown, all that stuff. We'll get to a lot of your questions as well. So call us, email us, tweet us, jump in the Buy Forward YouTube chat, or text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Hump Day shows brought to you by Pluckers. It's trivia night, y'all. Probably got some family in town, or maybe you're just off of work and looking for something to do tonight. Get on by Pluckers, either location. Nicholson, just south of campus, or Bluebonnet, right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Every Wednesday is trivia night at Pluckers. So, 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. 7:30 at Bluebonnet, 8 o'clock at Nicholson. Get your team together. No limit to the number of players you can have on a team. It's live action trivia, so you'll have someone calling out the questions. You write down your answers, all that sort of stuff. There's tiebreaker rounds. Of course, you got Christmas trivia tonight, so get on by either location. Bring the family. And remember, every single team, even if you don't win a round, every team gets to spin the prize wheel, so every team is going to win something. If it's free food from Pluckers or gift cards or swag from other great Baton Rouge-based businesses, you do it tonight. Trivia tonight and every Wednesday at Pluckers. Dine-in, carry-out, or delivery. Pluckers, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications. the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only...
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Yeah, close out your email, Muse, whenever you're... I'm going to curse you in my sleep tonight when I'm humming this stupid song.
You don't like that song?
Tal Bachman. The summer of '99 was a miserable summer for music. It was the summer of the one-hit wonder. Go look up.
Fair.
Go look up the summer of '99. Go look up the Billboard charts in the summer of '99, and just look at all the bands that were charting and music that you never heard from again. And you know what's sad about it? So my brother graduated high school in '99, and took a lot of his graduation money and bought two things primarily: Abercrombie and Fitch clothes.
Makes sense.
And CDs.
Makes sense.
Do you know what happened shortly after the summer of '99? A little thing we call Napster.
Yes.
And nobody bought CDs anymore.
Compact disc, huh?
Dude blew all of his graduation money on Abercrombie and Fitch clothes and CDs, of which I'm pretty sure he had Tal Bachman, She's So High. I would imagine that he had that CD.
I mean, it's a good song, all right?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's a terrible song.
It's a good
There's
beat,
a reason. There's a
fun,
reason. There's a reason Tal Bachman was a one-hit wonder, because
number 51. There he is. She's So High. Tal Bachman.
There it is.
Number 51.
Give me the top 10, 15 there.
Believe, Cher. We've heard of Cher. No Scrubs, TLC.
All right.
Banger. Angel of Mine, Monica. That was number 3.
Monica, dude, that song was huge.
Yeah. Heartbreak Hotel, Whitney Houston, Faith Evans and Kelly Price. Baby One More Time, Britney Spears. Heard of that one. Kiss Me.
Sixpence None the Richer. Yep, there's one.
That's
now
for sure one.
Now
yeah.
you're getting into
It's
them.
a good one.
Here it comes.
We might have to play that later. That's a good Genie in the Bottle, Christina Aguilera. That's for sure one we've heard of.
Yep.
Every Morning, Sugar Ray. Nobody's Supposed to Be Here, Deborah Cox. Livin' La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin. That's 10. Where My Girl's At, 702. That falling there? Do you know that one?
Where My Girl's At, from the front to back. It was you feeling that?
Got some
Throw
J-Lo,
one hand up.
If You
Can
Had My
repeat
Love.
That? Trying to take my man. See,
Sly,
I don't need
Goo
that.
Goo
Hey, wait,
Dolls.
give me my moment here.
Okay, well, I was going through them. Trying to get to number 15 there.
Damn, bro. What's 15?
I Want It That Way by the Backstreet Boys. Fairly popular group.
How
there.
was that 15? Maybe it was just that week as it was starting its ascent, or maybe that was the descent after like 2 years of being number one. Anyway, terrible summer of music in the summer of 1999. Okay. Overrated, underrated. The summer of 1999. Horribly overrated.
I was going to ask you that when we started.
All one-hit wonders. All right, let's do it. Go ahead. Hit the music, if you want.
Not a one-hit wonder guy, huh?
Oh. That summer was
Overrated.
Trying to think of more.
Or underrated.
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
I mean, I have 100 of them right here. The top 100.
I'm looking at it.
Plenty, I'm sure. Anyway. Overrated.
Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight. It was things Save Tonight.
No, I mean, where was that one ranked?
Where I just had it. 22.
Okay. Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Oh God, by Lamos.
By Enrique Iglesias.
Yeah. Everlast, What It's Like.
Yeah.
You know that song? Everlast had another song that nobody knows called Ends, but which is way, way better. But anyway. Sugar. Oh God, Sugar Ray had some like
Wild Wild West. Will
bro.
Smith.
Wiki Wow. 98 Degree. LFO, Summer Girls.
That's a hell of a one-hit wonder there, though.
LFO had a few hits, though. They had more than just Summer Girls.
Summer Girls is so
But that was the one everybody knows. Speaking of Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah. New Kids on the Block.
Lou Bega, Mambo No. 5 was that summer.
Banger.
Sean Mullins, Lullaby, which I actually like that song. You know that song?
I don't know. Not
You'd
off the top of my
recognize it
head.
if you heard it.
That's probably, yeah.
Everything gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Yeah, that one. Black, the 808. Yep. Tal Bachman, She's So High.
There it is, man.
I'm telling you, dude, that summer was just polluted with horrible one-hit wonders. And then a truly great song like Black Balloon from the Goo Goo Dolls way down there at 64. All right, what you got, Muse?
Well, I mean, look, you can't put it above Kiss Me by Sixpence and On the Richer Man. I mean, come on. Overrated or underrated? Hot chocolate. I mean, needing some of that here in the next coming days.
So didn't we have this conversation if you call it hot chocolate or hot cocoa?
Yeah, that was on Friday with
Did we talk about that? Yeah. Hot chocolate, underrated. Hot cocoa, overrated.
Okay, but it's the same thing.
No, because the difference that we agreed upon was hot chocolate is just when you're drinking something to stay warm, like at the ballpark or something. Hot cocoa is specifically at Christmas time, which doing something just because it's specifically Christmas time is inherently overrated. So just because the calendar says you should call it hot cocoa and drink it. But hot chocolate, underrated. Yeah, I mean, something warm to drink when it's cold outside? Yeah, give me that.
Overrated or underrated? Cheez-Its.
Underrated. And I know they got the bowl game and everything, and the commercials are stupid.
Oh, they're terrible.
I'm the cheesiest, coach. I woke up feeling the cheesiest.
Just
terrible.
bad.
But look, we remembered it, so then it's good. But Cheez-It is an inherently delicious treat that even if you don't like eating cheese, like a block of cheese, you can enjoy a Cheez-It. So yeah, Cheez-It's it's a great snack that's good for anyone. Kids like them. They're small enough. They don't like char the inside of your mouth or scrape the inside of your mouth. Cheez-It's great treat. Great. Underrated.
Overrated or underrated? Stocking stuffers.
Lone Star, Amazed. Oh, jeez.
Oh, I love that song. Get out of here. That's a great love song right there. Matt, what are you talking about? Where was that one ranked?
85.
Underrated. Fantastic. It's a good wedding song. Just a good song.
No, it's a terrible song. Fastball out of my head. But Fastball had some other hits, though, but they weren't really pop hits. Like Fire Escape was a great song that nobody really knows. They just remember out of my head. Out of my head was out of my mind. How could I have ever been so... You know, like all that. God, that was it was a terrible summer for music. Anyway, what did you say?
Stocking stuffers, overrated or underrated?
Overrated, because you feel like you're doing Christmas all over again. You know, when you're a kid, a stocking. What did you get in your stocking as a kid?
we actually got like gifts in there, so just like smaller things though. I mean,
naturally, it has to fit into a stocking.
Right, but I mean, I don't know. Like if you had trading cards or something, trading cards good stocking stuffer, I think.
Maybe candy.
Candy, yeah, of course.
Like
candy's given, yeah. Like the candy cane with like the Hershey Kiss or the Hershey Kisses all in it.
Yep. My wife has apparently this deal with Santa where the stockings, Santa basically brings Christmas again in the stockings. I don't know how Santa does it.
The elves, Matt.
It just got to cost Santa a lot of money.
You make everything.
I get it, but he's still got all these elves up there. He's got to pay health benefits to them and
labor's
all.
high. Yeah,
the cost of labor's high. We know the supply chain and everything that's going on right now.
Housing, he houses all the elves. Houses all the elves up there.
My goodness.
It's an expansive place, the North Pole.
Hard Knock Life was that summer. God, what a terrible summer of music.
Was that the song from Annie or the musical or whatever?
It's like a spin-off of that, but yes. They actually used it in
Not with
in Austin Powers. It's Jay-Z.
Oh, that's a good song. What are you talking about? That's what I thought you were saying. I listened to that song like a week ago.
The little kids, give me a break.
So good.
It's annoying.
I love it. So we went with overrated on stocking stuffers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Overrated or underrated? John Mayer.
Citizen King, another one-hit wonder. Because I've seen better days.
Good song, though,
It's
man.
not a good song. That's the point. It's just an earworm. It was the summer of the one-hit wonder. These awful earworms that were just poppy, awful earworms. There were so many of them that summer. Oh, how about NSYNC in Alabama? God must have spent a little more time on you. That's a sweet song lyrically, anyway. What was your question?
John Mayer, overrated or underrated?
Underrated. Okay. I think we've done this one before.
Have we?
I think so. John Mayer, the guitarist. John Mayer, the guitarist. Criminally underrated. One of the great guitarists of our entire generation. As a vocalist, I think John Mayer is horribly overrated. His music is fantastic, and so his vocals don't necessarily matter tremendously, that he's not very good, and he just kind of, like that. But as a guitarist, John Mayer is criminally underrated. Criminally underrated.
Overrated or underrated? Tim Allen.
Say Tim Allen's properly rated. He's in his lane, man. Tim the Toolman Taylor, will live on forever. Santa Claus, good comedic actor. Transition from television to the big screen, which not everybody can do. He is properly rated in his lane. I know there's some personal stuff there with Tim Allen as well that make him a little controversial, but as far as Tim Allen, the comedic actor, he is properly rated.
It's overrated or underrated?
All right, this is After Further Review. Brought to you by Hudco Roofing. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. One of the things we do at Hudco, we have a catch-all system. So when we come to replace your roof, one of the things a lot of people worry about is, man, we're going to get shingles and nails and debris and all that kind of stuff into, in my garden, on my flowers. Nope. We have a catch-all system. It's almost like a giant net that wraps your house. So when the crews are on the roof and they're throwing shingles or nails they fall into the catch-all. You roll it up, boom, you take it away. So that way you don't get shingles and all that stuff, debris all into your flowers, into your garden, onto your lawn. Just another way that Hudco takes their level of customer service to another level for you, the homeowner. It's Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Got crews rolling right now. Look, if you're looking for that roof inspection, we can help. When it rains, our phones blow up. Obviously, it was awful weather earlier this week. If you found out that you have a roof leak, or if you think you might, love to give you a free no-obligation roofing inspection. You can call right now, 225-364-1007, 364-1007, 364-1007. And remember, that's the office line, but it forwards to several people's cell phone, including Terrio. So, you could call that number, and there's a real possibility that Ryan Terrio could answer the phone right now. 225-364-1007 or HudcoRoofing.com. You get your free inspection right there on the homepage. Hudco Roofing and HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Okay, y'all, it's After Further Review. Muse will have Tigers and the Pros when we come back to wrap up hour number 2. It is National Signing Day. If you're just knocking off of work, if you are working this week or just tuning in, LSU inks 25 signees today. Dalen Austin, the cornerback out of California, flipped to Oregon, but LSU did flip a prospect themselves, a 3-star tight end who had been previously committed to Vanderbilt. It's going to take me a minute to get the first name to roll off the tongue, but it's Cameron Pimpton is his name. 6'6", 237-pound tight end from who had been committed to Vanderbilt. He's from the state of Texas. He joined the LSU class today. So you lost a cornerback, you gained a tight end, and LSU, in essence, ends up signing 25 today. And they're not done. Desmond Ricks tomorrow will make his announcement. We're all anticipating it's going to be LSU. And then on Friday, Brian Kelly will announce the transfer portal additions as well. All right, putting a button here on hour number 2. When we come back next, it's AFR.
AFR.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big V and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Cornell Toyota in Opelousas is here to help you.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU basketball back on the floor tonight. Final pre-conference tune-up. They'll take on East Tennessee State before they open up conference play against Arkansas, and that's not going to go well. Matt McMahon's squad. We'll talk a little bit more about that coming up in about 40 minutes from right now. Right now, Muso has Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
Let's start with a little bit of an update from the NFL. Injury reports are out in droves here on a Wednesday. Michael Brockers returned to practice for the Detroit Lions. Brockers had been suffering a bit of an illness, but was a full participant today, Wednesday, for Detroit. Former Tiger in the pros. Also, little Saints news here. Jarvis Landry has been added to the injury report for New Orleans. Not on there yesterday. Of course, that was just a projected. Did not practice today. Ankle injury for Jarvis Landry. NBA G League action from earlier today. We've already wrapped this game up. The Rio Grande Valley Vipers. That's, of course, where you find Darius Days.
Of course.
Naturally. In a starting role for Darius today. 26 minutes. Shot 6 of 12 from the floor. 50%. Not too shabby. 1 of 6 from 3. 13 points in all. 2 rebounds and 2 steals for Darius. He did foul out with 6 personals in the game. Rio Grande Valley winners, 125-119 in that game. And NBA G League action from yesterday. Birmingham Squadron. Quiet night for Javonte Smart. Quiet night. Just 2 points for our guy there. Affiliate of the Pelicans, Javonte Smart. They won, though.
That's good to hear.
That's good. You like that, man. You're rooting for all the teams.
You do like it.
You do like to see that. NBA action tonight. Former Tigers that you'll see in action. I'm going to pull it on up here. Well, start with the Brooklyn Nets. They host the Golden State Warriors at 6:30. You can see that one on NBA TV. But keep your eye out for Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas. Tari Eason having a great rookie season so far with the Houston Rockets. They host the Orlando Magic tonight for a 7 p.m. tip-off in Houston. Timberwolves, they host the Mavericks. Naz Reid coming off a double-double, 27 and 13 in his last outing.
Oh, really? Would have been a triple-double had he stayed.
I don't know. Double-double's pretty good. It's pretty good.
But it would have been a triple-double.
Saw the highlights of it last night, too, on Twitter.
Would have been great.
Awesome.
Would have been triple-double.
And the Trailblazers, they travel to OKC tonight to face the Thunder. Keep an eye out there for Trendon Watford. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Gentlemen, it's not too late. If you are fretting, what are you going to give her that's going to thrill her and you're not sure? It's easy. Let our friends at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry help. They've been helping Baton Rouge get engaged for more than 40 years, but man, so many great items in the little red box under the Christmas tree, sure to thrill her this Christmas morning. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, corporate in Bocage, in the Mall of Louisiana. 9 locations in all. LMFJ.com. LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where you always get the Lee Michaels experience. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. LMFJ.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad to have you hanging out with us here on a National Signing Day edition of After Further Review. Brian Kelly did meet with the media earlier today. Coming up after the top of the hour, we'll kind of run through the class. So we've heard from Brian Kelly. You can catch any of this on demand that we've talked about earlier today. Brian Kelly on putting the class together. Brian Kelly on recruiting the local guys, on the numbers, on what they still have to address. The Tigers, the flips today that happened, we'll get to as well. But I want to talk about the offensive players and the defensive. We'll get into the players themselves they signed and who's likely to make an impact immediately and maybe more long-term. We'll get to that coming up right after the top of the hour. Of course, we'll do some Pluckers trivia as well. All right, if you want to join us, you can always email the show, Matt at 1045ESPN.com. You can tweet us at Matt Moscona. You can jump in the Bayou Forward YouTube chat or text in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways to get involved in the show. Muse mentioned the injury report there for the Saints. Remember, the Saints are headed to Cleveland for a Saturday game, so they did actually start their practice today. Saints are a field goal dog. They're in Cleveland, and they are expecting freezing weather for the game in Cleveland on Saturday with the Saints and the Browns. Saints are going to need some help. They effectively need to win out and have Tampa lose out for all intents and purposes to have an opportunity to make the playoffs. So it gets hairy now for the Saints. So as of right now, Browns are 2.5-point favorite, and the projected game time temperature is 23 degrees with the possibility of snow. So the Saints could be playing in a literal freezing temperature game with snow on Saturday up in Cleveland. So, all right, season on the line. It's exactly what you want. All right, here comes SportsCenter. We'll get you caught up on national headlines, and then we'll kick off Hour 3 talking about the LSU signing class in detail, offense and defense. Stay here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. They are open today, and as we head toward the weekend, you can always get online. You want to make that vehicle purchase before the end of the month, before the end of the year, do it. You want to talk about meeting quotas and having to move inventory. I mean, this is the best time. The best time, not only of the month, is the end of the month, whenever dealerships got to meet quotas, but the end of the year. You want to talk about year-end deals? Move those 22s before they got to get the 23s on the lot. South Point Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com. You want to search the inventory? You can. There's an inventory search tab right there. It's so easy. Year, make, body, model, body style, price. Search by any criteria. I'm going to continue to remind you as well. The all-new first electric SUV for everyone. The Volkswagen ID4. They got a couple of them on the lot right now. You can go check it out. Test drive it today at South Point Volkswagen. Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer is South Point Volkswagen.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit. We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
I'm Sylvia Witherspoon in the WBRZ studios. Here is a preview of what we are working on for News 2 at 6 o'clock. The Christmas cold creeps in. Dr. Josh has the latest on when the temperature will tumble. And with the freezing forecast comes concerns about your health, what you need to know to stay healthy until it warms up again. Plus, families displaced days before the holidays after a troubled Tigerland apartment complex catches fire. Now the property could be seized. That and more tonight on WBRZ Channel 2 at 6.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150, plus no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz winter event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. A sprained right shoulder kept Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts out of practice today. Hurts not yet ruled out Saturday against the Cowboys. He said there's definitely a chance he'll be able to play. Philadelphia does need to be smart when it comes to their quarterback this weekend, advises Super Bowl champion Andrew Whitworth.
You need him. You know what he's going to have to do in the playoffs. One of the biggest parts of their offense is not just his ability to throw it, it's his ability to run it and all the things they can do with the running game with him. And so those hits add up. And you got to make a conscious decision of, or if we are going to play him, is it going to be more about not giving him those runs, let's just throw it, and then are we putting ourselves in a bad position by doing that?
Andrew Whitworth on Greeny. If Hurts is out, Gardner Minshew starts instead against the Cowboys. Cardinals quarterback Colt McCoy remains in NFL concussion protocol, so he's out against the Buccaneers. Trace McSorley starts on Sunday night. The Colts have benched QB Matt Ryan for a second time this season. Nick Foles will start against the Chargers Monday night. NBA, Brooklyn's Kyrie Irving, dealing with some calf tightness, will be a game-time decision tonight versus the Warriors.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusu. And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Or if you got the week or the day off of work, thanks for being here with us. An important day for LSU, for all of college football, as it is the start of the early signing period, which has really replaced the traditional February National Signing Day, as we all know. Tigers inked 25 players. One player defected, Dalen Austin, a cornerback out of California, as was expected. He flipped to Oregon, where he signed today. And LSU did add Kamar Pimpton, a tight end who is out of the state of Texas, had been committed to Vanderbilt, 6'6", 230-ish pound target, who Brian Kelly raved about today. So 25 signees for the Tigers. They'll announce the transfer players on Friday when the early signing period window closes. Brian Kelly said 15 of these guys will be, the 25 that signed today will be on campus in January, and another 8 to 10 transfer portal guys will as well. So still a lot of work to do in the portal between now and the start and the closing of this portal window. Something I wanted to do was take a segment here. We've talked a lot about signing day, the process of getting this class together, spots where they feel like they went heavy, where they still have work to do, the numbers, all of that stuff. I do want to take a minute here as we start hour 3 to talk about the offense and the defense and the actual on-field prospects and where this class looks like it's going to make sort of an immediate and maybe a long-term impact. So we'll do the defense in the next segment. Let's start with offense. First of all, Brian Kelly was pretty clear that in this class, a word he used often was balance in this class.
You know, we're looking for pretty good balance on offense and defense, which I think we've gotten. And certainly look, you're always looking for players to impact immediately, but this is a class that I believe that when we recruit them, what we're asking them to do is immediately impact LSU football, and that means represent LSU in a positive way in the classroom, in the community, and as it relates to football. So be ready to compete.
And he's right. They did strike balance with the number of signees, with the 25 that they got. It was interesting, as Brian Kelly met with reporters today, nobody asked about Ricky Collins. Typically, quarterback is always going to be something that is a bit of a lightning rod, where you want to know about the signal caller. And I'm curious, maybe it's just because Ricky Collins is someone who we've known for a long time, a guy who prepped at Woodlawn here in Baton Rouge, of course, was a Purdue commit. Oddly, of course, LSU playing Purdue in the bowl game, was a Purdue commit. LSU flipped him, and now Ricky Collins part of LSU's class, but he's a consensus 4-star, the number 14 quarterback in the country, 6'2", 182-pounder. Maybe the reason is just because we all know the nature of that position, and it's transient, and guys don't stay. And so there's maybe some reason to wonder, will Ricky Collins see the field when you've got highly rated young guys ahead of him? Will he stay? But he's a guy that when you lean into the local angle, there's more of a reason to think, yeah, man, that guy, similar to Walker, if you do have guys that might stick it out there, more likely to do so instead of heading back closer to home. Because, of course, this is home. Now, the position that Brian Kelly said could have an early impact that surprised me is when he talked about the offensive line, considering you got 5 starters returning. But here's what Brian Kelly said about that offensive line and the potential to play early.
In-state was really big for us in terms of getting, Tyree Adams, obviously, out of St. Augustine, a really big get for us, and a guy that we're excited about, and Lance Hurd, obviously, Monroe, and another Louisiana kid that we're certainly excited about. If you go down the list in terms of DJ Chester out of Eagles Landing, a big athletic offensive lineman, again, that we think can come in. These are guys that we believe can impact us on the offensive line right away with some turnover that we're going to have. Paul Mubenga is an outstanding prospect, great school, comes from a Georgia powerhouse in Buford High School that I believe is somebody that can compete and, plug in right away. So, from an offensive line standpoint, I think, we really did our due diligence in terms of finding the right guys that can impact.
Here's the interesting question about offensive line. All 5 starters return, and your top 6 guys return. Of course, Miles Frazier's back, and Miles Frazier and Garrett Dellinger rotated at left guard. So your top 6 guys are back. There isn't immediate playing time available. There isn't. But that's also a position where it is proven statistically, it is the position that has the highest injury rate risk and therefore the most turnover, which is why you need depth. A lot of LSU's veteran depth is now gone. Marcus Dumerville, Xavier Hill, Cam Wire. So you've got your 6 starters returning, or your first 6 guys returning, and after that it's a whole bunch of youth. So what they do heretofore is going to be interesting. Are you addressing offensive line in the portal to bring in veteran depth, which I was told early in this process they were going to do, or do you rely on the guys that you've signed? One of them, of course, is Lance Hurd, who is the highest-rated signee in LSU's class. He's a 5-star. He's number 15 overall in the country in the on-3 composite. He's the 3rd best offensive tackle in the country. I mean, that's a dude right there who you would think is looking to come in and play right away, although there ain't a spot for him. But when Brian Kelly told this story about Lance Hurd earlier today, that don't seem like a guy that's coming here waiting his turn to play.
I like Lance Hurd. I like his personality. He's extremely confident. I'll share this with you. In recruiting him early on, as we were going through the process, he said, "Coach, I'm only going to play left tackle, and that's it. I said, well, we got a true freshman, Will Campbell, playing left tackle right now. He's pretty good. He goes, well, I've seen Will Campbell play. I played with Will Campbell. I'm playing left tackle. And ever since that time, I was like, I like this kid. Just his confidence. And it wasn't cocky, but it was a confidence. And he's just been that way in the recruiting process. Has a great confidence level, believes in what he's doing and what he can do for this program. And then we put him through the ringer now. I mean, we brought him in here and we worked him out, and he kept coming back, and we worked him out again, and we got eyes on him, and we watched him, and maybe some of you guys were here, but we put him through the ringer, and he passed every test for us. So feel great about him being in the program.
I love the story. I don't think he's beaten out Will Campbell with a year as a starter at left tackle. But could he come in and play somewhere on that line right away? Yup. You got the right makeup. You just saw 2 true freshmen win jobs this year. Come beat somebody out. That's how you build an elite program. You don't shy away from competition. You have dudes that are 5-star that say, I'm coming in to take that 5-star's job. I don't care if he's been playing for a year. That's how you do it. You never shy away from that. You want that guy. And if someone's afraid of it, do you want him in your program? Like, that's a fair question to ask. Bring in the competition, man. And, yeah, you're going to have developmental guys. He called Paul Mubenga. He said he's a great developmental guy. He's got a great frame with a lot of athleticism, powerhouse. Buford, Georgia. Buford's been great to LSU over the years. Maybe they got another one. Tyree Adams out of St. Aug in New Orleans. Yeah, bring him on, man. Running back, you signed 2 today from the state of Louisiana. I love that, and I would not be surprised at all if you told me today that either one of those running backs, Holly or Jackson, either one of them, played a significant role on LSU's offense next year. Would not surprise me in the least. Because you're returning Josh Williams, but we've talked about this a bunch, and as good as Josh Williams is, he's not a pro. He doesn't have a pro skill set. I'll put it to you that way. He doesn't have an NFL draft skill set. So you bring in guys that are physically superior. If they can do the same things, why can't those guys steal reps? I'm not saying Josh Williams ain't going to play. My point is, you got Williams back. Armani Goodwin's coming off of injury. Noah Cain, good player, maybe doesn't have the explosive burst. What is John Emery going to do? Don't know if he's coming back. If he's going pro, we'll see. My point is, you got a lot of questions. So it's not out of the question. One of those young guys could step in and win a job and win reps. And the other position, of course, is wide receiver. 5-star Shelton Sampson signed today. And one that LSU was, I don't want to say sweating, but that there was some conversation. Could he end up signing elsewhere? Was Jaylen Brown, one-time 5-star, lands as a 4-star out of Miami. Miami pushed hard for him out of Gulliver Prep there in Miami. Jaylen Brown ends up a part of this class. He was Brian Kelly today on the highly rated game breaker out of Miami.
Big play guy, can certainly take the top off of any coverage. Probably more of an X, plays to the field, but elite speed. So we see him as a guy that can do some things that are fairly unique in a sense that really can turn the field over for us. So, he's got to develop, continue to get stronger, I think, and he's working at it. He knows he's got to get stronger in the weight room. But, he's a guy that brings a speed element, and we've got guys with really good speed, but he brings an elite speed that's going to be fun.
You add Aaron Anderson to that mix as well, and all of a sudden you're cooking now. So Jaylen Brown comes in, Shelton Sampson, the 5-star receiver, one of the top receivers in the country. He's a guy that's going to get on the field right away as well. And when you got that many talented guys, you're going to give defenses a lot of trouble. That wide receiver moniker just continues to develop, whether it's warranted or not. The bottom line is LSU's got an awful lot of weapons that teams are going to have a hard time dealing with this year and beyond. They reloaded at that receiver position undeniably. Okay, let me break. We'll come back and talk about the defense. National Signing Day edition of AFR. Glad you're here. Stick around.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. You do realize that Saturday is Christmas Eve and Sunday is Christmas Day. And it's also going to be in the teens. So if you have trouble with your home central heater, no worries. Call River City's 1 Hour Air. I tell you all the time. Nights, holidays, weekends, they'll always come out and they'll never charge you extra. Annette Lofton sent this 5-star review. Servicemen are professional and articulate clearly and in simple to understand terms. Give helpful do-it-yourself cleaning tasks. Explain when to call them for other types of cleaning tasks. I would highly recommend River City's 1 Hour Air. Another 5-star Google review. Certainly mine in that mix as well. Experience your own. Your home central heater. Have that heating safety check. Do it today. River City's 1 Hour Air. 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit.
Let's go, defense!
We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers.
Get it done. Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications. The powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
All right, let's say ah.
Where'd my spotlight go?
Super weird, but we can take care of it.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
All right, Ott will be here in about 20 minutes from right now. Jimmy hit on both plays yesterday. Gave you Eastern Michigan in the Day Bowl game, which hit. And then he gave you Liberty in the nightcap, which also hit with a late cover. So the Otter continues to roll. You got the New Orleans Bowl tonight with South Alabama. And who's South Alabama playing?
South Alabama is playing the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers.
All right, South Alabama, Western Kentucky tonight in the New Orleans Bowl. Get a pick from Ott coming up here in about 20 minutes from right now. All right, let's look at the defensive side of LSU signing class today. Brian Kelly said he wanted balance, and certainly got that. We'll just start up front and then work our way back. The defensive line is clearly an area of need for LSU, especially on the interior. We know you played 3 guys this year. Because of Mason Smith's injury, you played Roy, Guillory, and, of course, Mekhi Wingo came in. Roy's going pro, so you've got Guillory and Wingo back. Mason Smith's coming off of injury, but you are still paper thin right there. You got a couple of guys that redshirted this year, and Bryce Langston, Ty G. Hill, Fitzgerald West, who bounced back and forth with offense and defense. Bottom line is you got to get help on the defensive front. And Brian Kelly, when he was asked today, and of the players LSU signed today, the 25 high school signees, none is a defensive tackle. So when Brian Kelly was asked the remaining positions of need, it was pretty obvious where he was going to start.
Heavy influence on the defensive line. I think you'll see defensive line, defensive backfield as the particular areas that we still need to address as we move forward.
So defensive line, defensive backfield. It's worth noting, LSU did add 2 transfers on the defensive line last night with Sands from Arizona and Lee from Florida. So that's 2 veteran guys to add to your interior rotation. So it brings you up to 5 on the interior. They're probably not done there either. Now, the one defensive player that they added of great significance today, certainly the second highest rated prospect, or third, I guess, depending, in the on-3 composite, it's Lance Hurd, Shelton Sampson, and then Deshaun Womack. Womack is a guy who there were a few nervous moments late because when you get a guy that's that highly rated, that's out of state, people wanted to make sure that he did put pen to paper, and he did. An edge player at 6'4", 245 that LSU is clearly very high on.
Obviously a team that, their rivalry game is IMG. It's a pretty good caliber of competition week in and week out. But he fits the jack position for us. Obviously with BJ going to the NFL, there's a natural opening there, on our roster. And we think he's a guy that can come in immediately and compete for playing time.
So when you look at the jack spot, remember, we know that we got to see Harold Perkins there a lot, but that's not where Harold Perkins is going to play. I'm not saying he'll never play in that spot, but Harold Perkins is going to be an every down inside linebacker. He's going to be next to Greg Penn taking that Baskerville role. Like, that's going to be what Harold Perkins is. As good as he is on the edge of rushing the passer, he's going to be Devin White. He's going to be a 3-down inside backer. So you look at that jack spot with Ojulari out. Savion Jones, we've talked a lot about him, but Savion Jones is most likely going to take the Ali Gay role at that big end on the left. That's where he played this year. Yes, I know that you've got other guys that will rotate through there, but Xavier Carter is the guy that would play the jack spot. It would be listed as an edge, as a jack. And then if you talk about, but Carter barely played this year. And then if you talk about Womack, that's a true freshman coming in. LSU did add the Oregon transfer as well as an edge player in this class. So you're starting to build depth, but they've got to get more there as well as far as edge. So that's what Brian Kelly's talking about, adding the defensive line. They're not done. We've gone over the numbers a couple of times already, but 25 high school signees. You've got 4 commitments from the portal already. They'll announce the portal, all the portal commitments on Friday. But Kelly said 15 of the 25 high school guys right now will be on campus in January, and they'll have 8 to 10 transfers on campus as mid-years as well. You got 4 committed right now. So you got more coming, and you better believe you're going to see D-line, and you're certainly going to see the secondary as well. So that's where, look, linebacker, I'm not trying to just brush over linebacker, but You addressed linebacker a year ago in a significant way because you knew what your numbers were going to look like. So you have Greg Penn coming back. You've got West Weeks coming back as well, and they love the way DeMario Tolan emerged. And yes, of course, Harold Perkins is going to play there. And then you signed 2 linebackers today in this class with Whit Weeks, West Weeks' younger brother, and then Christian Braithwaite as well, part of this class. So 2 younger guys coming in. Not to say it's out of the realm of possibility that they'd add a linebacker if there's a great player they want, but they seem good with the blend of veterans and young guys coming in, experience and green players to grow and develop at linebacker. They seem good there. They added plenty at safety today. And Brian Kelly was also pretty clear. He was asked, can you play number 6? He was asked, can any of these – because remember, the cornerback numbers, you're losing your top 4 corners. The only corners you return are Sevyn Banks and LaTerrence Welch. That's it. You signed Hughes today out of Bishop Gorman in Vegas. That gives you 3. And you're thinking you're going to get Ricks tomorrow, which would bring you to 4. 4 corners? Like, they have got to add corners. Brian Kelly was asked, can any of these safeties that you signed today play corner?
No, I think we've addressed it. You know, we feel really comfortable when recruiting has completed, and it hasn't completed totally for us yet. We feel like we're going to be to the numbers that we wanted to be at the cornerback position. So, is there a little bit of flexibility there? Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, we know that there's great flexibility with Ryan Yates as a guy that can play corner and safety. I know there's some flexibility even with some players on our roster. But we feel good about the numbers that will be reflected, you know, as we get into, you know, we're gonna have a recruiting weekend in January. And that one recruiting weekend in January will probably be where we kind of finish off our recruiting for this recruiting cycle.
One quick point of clarification. LSU does, and I'm seeing this right now, they do list on the official website that Ashton Stamps out of Rummel, the 3-star, they list him officially as a cornerback as well. Signed as a safety and all the composite and everything like that. But LSU on the website officially lists him as a corner. So that means you'd have Banks, Welch, Hughes, Stamps, and then Ricks tomorrow if they get him. But that's 5, and only Banks will have significant college action. So you've got to go into the portal to get cornerbacks. At safety, today you added Doherty, Yates, Jackson, and that's on top of Major Burns coming back. Greg Brooks could come back at that nickel safety spot. You're good at safety. Your numbers are good at safety. It's obvious where in the portal they've got to go address. They've still got to get guys on the defensive line, and they have got to get cornerbacks in the transfer portal. I'll remind you again on the timeline. 45-day portal window is open. It opened last Monday. So it's open until January the 20th. That's just the window for guys to enter the portal. You got to declare the portal. You don't have to choose your final destination then. And then after spring, there's another portal window. So this may be a thing where you wait until after spring, a guy loses his job in spring football or realizes he's further down the depth chart than he likes and looks for another opportunity, and that's when something like that could come about. But it's obvious. It's obvious where LSU's needs are. D-line, cornerback, and you look for some movement on that soon at those 2 spots. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Mold Zero USA. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-0USA.com. Yo, we live in Louisiana, man. It's wet, and a lot of times it's humid. I know it's cold right now, but that's a breeding ground for mold. It's a breeding ground for mold. Sometimes you may not even know it's there. Mold Zero USA. You don't have to worry about cutting sheetrock, ripping out insulation, all that sort of stuff. If you got mold or think you might, call Jim Woodworth and the gang over at Mold Zero, servicing Greater Baton Rouge and Greater New Orleans. Or go to the website, mold-0usa.com. You see right there at the top of the website the number for Baton Rouge, the number for New Orleans. Mold-0usa.com. They're patented non-toxic dry fog, which means they spray it, gets into every nook and cranny. It'll kill all the mold and dozens of other pathogens, or eliminate odor as well. And as soon as that fog dissipates, boom, you're back in the house. No worries at all. They even on their website have a performance study from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. So you want to learn more about the validity of the Mold Zero dry fog process? You can do it right there. Mold-0USA.com. Mold-0USA.com for Mold Zero. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We are, let's see, about 15 minutes away. We get some Otter Locks from Jimmy. Also some Pluckers trivia. And one other thing that I want to delve into when we come back quickly, I'll give you a thumbnail preview of LSU and East Tennessee State. Tigers' final non-conference basketball game before, well, they'll have the SEC Big 12 Challenge later, but they'll play Texas Tech. But final non-conference game before the Tigers open up conference play against Arkansas. So Matt McMahon and the squad, their last time to get out on the floor tonight and tune up before the 10th-ranked Hogs come into the Maravich Center. So we'll preview that one. Let's hear from Matt McMahon here briefly. And remember, busy night tonight. Real quick, Brian Kelly show is tonight. So the final Brian Kelly radio show of the year is tonight. It's and it's at TJ Ribs and on Eagle 98.1. If you're in Baton Rouge, the basketball game moves over to 100.7 the Tiger tonight. So Brian Kelly show on Eagle, basketball game on 100.7 the Tiger tonight with that conflict. T-Bob and I will have a Scone and Tea from Oliver Twist on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. So if you'd like to join us there, we'd love to see y'all there. Okay, we'll knock out a quick break, come back, do some Pluckers trivia, and preview the basketball game. Stick around.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
Buying or selling, commercial or residential, call Darren James. Wall Street Journal's list of the top 1% of realtors in America. That's not subjective. That's objective fact based on the number of homes closed. And you know how Darren James gets to closing tables? Ask yourself how many realtors that you hear do daily radio ads, daily marketing of their listings, your property to get it sold. Does your realtor have a plan? Ask your realtors to say, what is your plan to get my home sold? And if that plan is, we're going to put a sign in the yard and list your home on the MLS, not going to get it done. Call Darren James and say, what's your plan to sell my home? Prepare to be blown away. That's why Darren James gets results. 335-7666 or agent225.com for Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, anytime. Hunt and Hill. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Toyota in Opelousas is here to help you ring in the new year with no markups, and you'll never pay over MSRP. And we have new inventory arriving daily. So Happy New Year from our Corvette Toyota family to yours.
Nearly half of children in foster care drop out of school. But you can rewrite that story. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU basketball takes on East Tennessee State today, the Buccaneers. Last time out, the Buccaneers lost on Saturday to UNC Asheville. Bad beats on SportsCenter with SVP and Stanford Steve on Mondays is some of my favorite television. Like, if you don't watch the 10 Central, 11 Eastern SportsCenter with SVP and Stanford Steve, you should. It's a great show. They're hilarious together. And Bad Beats is some of the best television you'll ever watch. It's like literally laugh out loud funny. It's obviously bad gambling beats. And I took notice of this one in particular because UNC Asheville was playing at East Tennessee State, and East Tennessee State gagged away a win. And this is actually how it finished. You'll if you're watching, you'll see it, but if you're listening, Asheville is down 2, so it's 73-71. There's 1.2 seconds left on the clock. They're inbounding from under their goal, and some gangly center receives a wobbly pass and heaves one to beat East Tennessee State. Here's how it sounded.
See if he can do it again. Gets it in out to Pember. He gets it up with Scoot if it goes and he hit it. Drew Pember hit it. And UNC Asheville has stomped on the hearts of the Buccaneers at Freedom Hall.
It was a heinous beat because it wasn't just the three-pointer at the end. It was the collapse to get to that. Well, anyway, that's who LSU's playing tonight. It's East Tennessee State, the Buccaneers, that lost that game at home via the bad beat. They're playing tonight, and Matt McMahon talked about the opportunity to play against the Bucs.
Really excited about this great opportunity for our team tomorrow night against East Tennessee State. One final opportunity to get better here before we head into the Christmas break. And we've had 2 good days of preparation. Look forward to another good day today, and I can't wait to take the floor tomorrow night at 7 o'clock.
All right, so the Tigers have played 11 games now. They're 10-1 with 1 game to go in the pre-conference, as Matt McMahon mentioned. 7 o'clock tonight with East Tennessee State at 4-8, 0-3 on the road coming into the Maravich Center where the Tigers haven't lost. They're 7-0 on the season. But here was Matt McMahon on his thoughts on this team through 11 games.
I don't really go into the season saying, I hope we win this many games or we do this or that. We just want to build the best team that we can and hopefully max out our team. It's been very challenging, starting a program over from scratch, but it's been a lot of fun as well. And we certainly have a long, long way to go. But the thing I'm most pleased with has been the buy-in of the players, their daily commitment to come to work and get better and want to improve and want to find different ways to win games. And so I hope those are things we'll be able to continue to build on as the season goes along.
Statistically, they're almost identical. East Tennessee State scores 71 a game, LSU 73. LSU allowed 63, East Tennessee State 68. East Tennessee State's 50. They're both 46% from the floor. They both average 35 rebounds a game. They're very, very similar. Just that LSU's found a way to beat a lot of bad teams, and East Tennessee State's just 4-8 on the season. So, and 0-3 on the road. So, great opportunity for LSU tonight as a 14-point favorite to move to 11-1 on the year and chalk up another win before they go into conference play. I mentioned this yesterday for those that haven't heard it, but if you are going to be watching, listening, or going to the game, keep an eye out for Brock Jancic. If the name sounds familiar, it should. John Jancic is a longtime college football assistant who is a senior defensive analyst on LSU staff. He's former DC at Tennessee and a lot of places. But John Jancic's son, Brock, is a senior on the East Tennessee State team and averages about 7 points and 3 boards a game. So you're going to see you'll see Brock Jancic tonight. They're playing for East Tennessee State, so keep that in mind tonight if you're watching the game. I'm curious if I'm certain the Jancics will be at the game. Curious what colors they'll be wearing tonight. I have a feeling it might just be that East Tennessee State blue and gold. So in any event, all right. It's after further review. We'll do some trivia here in a second. Quick reminder about GMFS Mortgage, GMFSmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. Home buy, refi, construction loans. They do it all at GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com. Get in touch with that local loan officer. Told you again last week, Fed bumped interest rates another 0.5 point. Don't put it off, y'all. Don't allow rates to continue climbing. If you're thinking about moving, thinking about buying that home, thinking about buying instead of renting, building equity, do it now. The more rates go up, the less the further your buying power goes down. So don't put it off any further. Get in touch with a local loan officer, GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com since 1999. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. Okay, let's do some trivia before we hit Otter Locks. Of course, our Hump Day shows are brought to you by Pluckers. Every Wednesday at Pluckers, it's trivia night. 7:30, Blue Bonnet, 8 o'clock, Nicholson. All right, you ready, Muse?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think you're going to do too good.
Probably not.
No. Per usual.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way this thing goes.
I'm not coming up with the questions, though, by the way.
I know.
Stevie Levy, the king of the wings, sends me the questions. And I read them to Mute. I mean, he could read them to me, but then I've already seen them.
That's no fun.
Muse.
All right.
In the film Die Hard 2. You seen it?
No. Seen Die Hard, not Die Hard 2.
Which airport did the terrorists take over on Christmas Eve?
You know what? It's got to be a pretty big airport, right? Got to be a big one. I'm going to go with LaGuardia Airport.
No. Dulles, Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Ever?
No, I would have never. Like, that was, no.
Do you not fly?
Not very often.
Did you know Dulles was in D.C.?
No. That's why I would have never guessed that.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you any airport that's in Washington, D.C. I've never been to Washington, D.C.
Keep living. It'll
Okay.
happen.
All right.
It'll happen.
I'm good if it doesn't, but yeah, okay.
You got to go to the nation's capital.
I mean, yeah, sure. I'd like to. I mean, there's plenty of things there I want to see.
Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents is the first line from which literary classic by Louisa May Alcott? Or maybe Louisa.
Louisa. Gnarly. Christmas won't be Christmas
without any presents.
Without any presents. How about The Year Without a Santa Claus?
Oh. That'd be Little Women is what we were looking for. Little Women was the answer. All right, Muse looking to wear the collar again unless we can nail this one. Muse, what is the name of the ocean? Excuse me. What is the name of the ocean current that appears every 5 to 8 years around Christmas off the Pacific coast of South America? What is the name of the ocean current that appears every 5 to 8 years around Christmas off the Pacific coast of South America?
Is that El Nino?
Oh! Yo soy El Nino.
You like that?
Is Spanish for the Nino.
Okay.
Chris Farley, Saturday Night Live, he didn't say yo soy. He said El Nino is Spanish for
the Nino.
The Nino. It's actually Spanish for the bull. Muse nailed one.
Here we go.
Happy for you, Muse. It's going to be a good
dismount.
day. It's going to be a good day. Yeah, you fell off the beam 6 times, but you did land the dismount.
That's all that matters.
Nicely done. That's not all that matters, actually. That's how you get a terrible score, but at least you get to walk off without face planting into the mat. So not all that matters, but at least a nice recovery. How about that?
All right.
Okay. Okay. We'll knock out our final break. Come back. Otter Locks. You bet he'll have a pick on the New Orleans Bowl tonight. That's coming up next. It's AFR.
AFR.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan injury attorneys. Been fired up to see all the announcements of the newest members of the G team. Not sure if you saw it, but Trey Morgan back as a member of the G team again for this baseball season. Excited to see that. Really cool video that they posted on their social media. And the LSU Lady Tigers basketball team. Very cool to see this. Check out the Get Gordon social media. Go to Get Gordon on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Go to Get Gordon, @GetGordon, and you'll see the Get Gordon team with the LSU Lady Tigers basketball team as well. The Tigers were participants in the 500 bike giveaway with an additional 25 bikes here on this holiday season, so it's great to see. Get Gordon and get it done like we always talk about. Of course, if you've been injured in an accident and you need representation, do what injured people in Louisiana have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. But remember, especially around the holiday season, Gordon and the charitable arms Gordon gives does so much for our communities. You know what to do. Get Gordon and get it done.
3 people walk into a bar. The first 2 order the same old margs. The third, Nuevo Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer. Crafted with real lime juice and a crisp tequila flavor. Topo Chico Margarita Hard Seltzer.
Hi, I'm Brandon Landry, founder and CEO of Walk.
Hi, my name is Dr. Craig Green.
This is Ryan Terrio with HUDCoRoofing.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. No matter how big your commercial roofing job, HUDCO can help.
My patients come to me because they trust that I can get the job done at a high level. Ryan Terrio and Richard Tilley have the same level of trust when it comes to roofing.
If you have a roofing issue, call HUDCO Roofing.
Give us a call, 364-1007, and we'll come to your house and give you a free inspection.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a hump day edition of AFR presented by Pluckers. One thing left to do. Find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Lofton Staffing Services. At Lofton, we put people to work. Call us today at 924-0200 or go to lofton.jobs.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Oddfather himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, Coach.
Cheese. Hey, you should know, you've been in radio long enough, though. You can't just drop that, because now I got to do a reset of the whole damn bit, and that was like an hour ago. Come on, man. We were talking about Cheez-Its. Are Cheez-Its overrated or underrated? That was during last hour. Anyway.
And you put it overrated, so boom, immediately. All right.
No. Cheez-Its, underrated.
But you said the coaches, the commercials are really stupid.
The commercials were stupid.
And that's right where I step in. Boom, here I am.
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, Coach. Cheese. Anyway.
Every now and then when I'm cooking these breakfast, these moving a little slow, I kind of drop that on it. A little pep talk, you know.
You said I woke up feeling the cheesiest?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Because I put cheese in his grits, and I'm like, I woke up feeling the cheesiest, Coach. Here you go, cheese.
And then what does your 17-year-old son do? 17-year-old son?
He does not acknowledge it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Whatever, Dad. Dad's so stupid, Dad. Attaboy.
Yeah.
All right, Otter, we got a little bowl. Hey, by the way, nice 2-0 day yesterday. Otter gave us Eastern Michigan and Liberty. So the back door was open for Liberty late. Enjoyed that one.
I saw you post. Can I correct a Twitter post, a tweet?
What did I do?
Night?
What did I do?
No, not on you.
Okay.
But somebody said, bomb it, whatever.
Yeah.
Backdoor cover. A backdoor cover is a meaningless touchdown.
Bingo.
To cover the spread.
Bingo.
At the end.
Boom.
The game was still in doubt, was a 2-point conversion away, and they had 3.5 minutes. So a meaningless touchdown in garbage time. There you go.
That was not a backdoor cover. And you know what else?
And listen, he might not be the only one that thinks that way, but that's okay.
But you know what else? Know what else? We're also looking at a scenario in that game, Otter, where you had a goal line stand in that game. You had Liberty miss a field goal and a PAT. Look, you play it out. You go the way it goes. Listen, I'm cashing that ticket with no apologies. Let's go.
Liberty left some points on the table with their short kicking game. They missed like a 20-yarder.
I know.
A 25-yarder.
That was after the muff.
Yeah, that was before the muff.
So they missed
that was
2?
3. Yeah, that was after we recovered a muffed punt at the 10, attempted a field goal, and missed it left.
That's what I was saying. It was after the muff.
Yeah, after the muff. Okay. I was talking about the muff or the drop on the snap from
no, the muff punt. The literal exact thing I just said.
Muff punt.
After the muff punt. Otter. Come on now.
Not the muff snap. I'm all muffed out, dude. All right?
Oh my God.
It's fall season. Come on, Coach.
All right. I woke up feeling cheesy. Okay, all right. All right, what do we got tonight, Otter? A little New Orleans Bowl action?
South Alabama and Western Kentucky. Remember the Troy game last Friday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Them in Texas, San Antonio. It was 2 conference champions. It was a couple of 11-2 teams. Troy wins to go 12-2. Troy, hell of a season. They win the Sun Belt, a good league this year. Hey, remember that Hail Mary in Boone, North Carolina against App State with game day there? I think they should have won that. We're looking at a team that should have been 13-1. 13-1 with a 1 loss at Ole Miss, where they were outgained by like 80 yards to open the season. Not exactly embarrassing, okay? South Alabama gave them all they could handle, okay? This is a team, got to some contact in Mobile. They're coming. They're excited. And it's one of the things that I kind of, the fan excitement is sort of reflective of the team excitement. And I think that's something that's not really high with LSU. They want to play Purdue in Orlando. So anyway, South Alabama's going there and they're excited. They're kind of a startup program, the whole bit. And also, Western Kentucky, both of their quarterbacks hit the transfer portal a week and a half ago. Now, last week, one of them comes back. Now, he's the newcomer of the year, and that helps Western Kentucky. but they also lost their all-conference center, their starting offensive tackle, who have entered the transfer portal. So this is more transfers out for Western Kentucky and also South Alabama. Their two losses again to Boone, and the other one was a walk-off field goal at UCLA in the Rose Bowl. So I mean, this is a really good first-year. Kay Womack signed a contract extension last week, so I just really like the South Alabama tonight. Now Bruce Marshall has a pick on the total. And I'll just give it to you now. We have the clip of him explaining just why. But this total tonight is 56. Remaining. Is what you're looking at, 56?
I'm looking at 50. It's up to 58.
58.
I played it yesterday at 57, by the way, because I heard Bruce on your show.
Okay. So tonight's total, again, 50, 57, or 58. It's still going over 10 of the 12 games they've had. So, no problem with the weather inside at the Dome tonight. So Bruce likes the over. I am on South Alabama. Do we have an early game tomorrow?
6:30 p.m. Air Force Baylor.
6:30. All right, we'll be here for that one.
All right, Otter. Where are you tonight?
City Slice, Pints and Pizza.
All right, y'all get on by, see the Otter. Otter, we appreciate it. Have a great show.
All right, thank you, Matt.
All right, man. If you're listening to Otter next, if you're not in Baton Rouge, online at 1045ESPN.com. That'll do it for us. Trivia at Pluckers, T-Bob and I at Oliver Twist. Muse Pauly, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, remind you about Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. ShawbillsTire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. You know where to find them. They're at Shawbill's. If you're hitting the road, make sure before you hit the road for Christmas, you bring the vehicle to Shawbill's. Or maybe you're in town, and before you hit the road to go home, bring it to Shawbill's. 17 locations across South Louisiana. So there's never one far. You're never far from a Shawbill's location, I should say. If you need that tire rotation, if you need that oil change, check engine light, brake squeaking, whatever the issue may be with the vehicle, bumper-to-bumper auto service and name brand tires at wholesale prices. Nobody is going to sell you better tires for cheaper than Shawbill's. Go to the website, hit the promotions tab. You'll see all of the current promotions they have, including the 25 Days of Christmas promotion. Check it all out right there at ShawbillsTire.com. ShawbillsTire.com for more than 50 years. ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbill's, where we keep you rolling.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150, plus no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution. A network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located